Welcome to the H.E.A.L method, Habits for a Pain-Free Life. I'm your host, Madhavi, and today we're going to be talking about the E in the H.E.A.L method. E stands for energy. There's several things about energy that I'm going to share with you about today. The number one thing is that we need energy in our body to move and survive our day-to-day life practice. So where does this energy come from? So many places. One of the places it comes from the air we breathe, known as prana, the life force energy. Without the oxygen that we breathe in, we would not be. We would not exist. We have to breathe in order to survive. So it's really important that we keep our lung space open. So one thing I'd like to talk to you about the prana, the energy, the life force energy, is how do we get enough of it in our body so that we can move through life with ease at a flow state? So the breathing practice is really important. This is what I talk about in our yoga classes and share a lot of pranayama, a lot of breathing exercises. And there's something to say about this. Throughout life, as we start to get things to add on to us, we start to get more and more activities and responsibilities, and just life is happening to us. We start to feel it in our body and we start to tighten up and feel stressed. The more stressed we become, the more anxious we become. And what happens is the more anxious we become, the anxiety comes, we're not breathing at our full lung capacity rate. We have 33,000 cubic centimeters of lung space, and many of us are only using the upper third. When we're using just the upper third, when we're just breathing, chest breathing, upper chest breathing, that is causing the other 2/3 of the air in our lung space to just sit there and decay. And also the muscles around our lungs are atrophying. They're not being strong. They're atrophying, they're getting small, and they're getting weak. So it's hard for us to take a deep breath. So right now, why don't you just take a deep breath here with me? And then open your mouth and just sigh it out. How does that feel? Just taking that one deep breath feels just refreshing, opening, replenishing. So it's really important that we take time to breathe with our entire lung space. And so there's a method, it's called long, deep breathing. It's one of the most basic breath series practices in yoga. But you see, you don't have to take yoga to breathe long and deep. So energy comes from the air that we breathe, number one. Number two, energy comes from what we nourish our body with. So what kinds of foods do you put into your body? So think about nourishment, food, and drink as your fuel. Energy is fuel. So whatever we put into our body is going to process it and hopes that it gets what it needs to keep it running like a well-oiled machine. I'm going to give you a good example, and this is what I give in many of my yoga classes. It comes up. We treat our cars better than we treat our bodies. Our body is this physical being that is our vehicle for this life practice. We take our cars to the best places to get their oil changed, the tune-ups, tires rotated, whatever, right? The check engine thing comes on, we rush it to the shop. Time to change the oil, we'll go put the best oil. Time to put gas in, let's put the best gas that we can put in the car. Whatever it is, we run for the hills. We go and take care of our car faster than we take care of this physical body, which is our vehicle in this life practice. So why wouldn't we put the best nourishment into our body? Why wouldn't we take care of our mechanics of our body the best way that we can? We treat our cars better than we treat our bodies. So just reminding you, what is it that you put in your body? Whatever you put in, make sure it helps give you the energy that you need. For example, now I love sweets. I am a huge advocate of desserts. Don't worry, but I'm giving you an example of overindulgence, okay? When we put in too much sugar into our body, we are going to have this high, and then we're going to come crashing down. Our body doesn't know what to do with this excess sugar and it starts to pack it away. And then we start to feel heavy in our body, heavy in our mind, starting to get brain fog. By the way, if this episode is resonating with you and you would like to go in deeper, I invite you to download my free H.E.A.L method guide. If you would like to join me in one of my yoga classes, you can join in person or online nationwide. All the links are available down below in the show notes. And let's get back to the show. So, nourishment, number 2, is a very important way that you get energy. Okay? Another way that you can get energy is through movement. Many of us have stagnant jobs. We're either seated or we're standing. My job, I was in the medical profession for 30 years. I was standing. I had a standing job. I was running around from room to room, lab to lab, working with patient to patient. And I tell you, I have a little inside joke with my cohorts that they had cameras in my lab. They knew the minute I put my bum down, they would call me on the intercom. We need you to come in here. And then some of us have jobs that we're seated. Too much seating, too much sitting, and too much standing is not good for you. Okay? So we want to do a good combination, but we also want to move our bodies. Our bodies were made to move. They were not made to be stagnant. We are not stagnant individuals. Our bodies have joints that are supposed to be moving. I always compare our joints to that are not used to a rusted hinge on a door. A rusted hinge on the door eventually is going to break. Our joints aren't going to break, but they're not going to work properly. They'll get stiff and stuck. So it's really important that we move our body. And I'm not asking you to go run a marathon or, do some crazy, boot camp or something. I'm just talking about moving your body, moving your body. So ideally, we need to be getting up every 20 minutes and doing a 5-minute non-digital break of some type of movement, just walking around, walking to the mailbox, going to take a bathroom break, tea break. But for some of us, every 20 minutes doesn't make much sense. So I invite you to set your alarm for every 60 minutes to do a 5-minute non-digital break. So that's your movement. Another way that you get your energy is through sleep. These are the 4 pillars that I'm talking about of my health and wellness coaching style. You need to get sleep, my friends. For those of us that want to, burn that midnight oil, you're not doing yourself a favor. It's so important that we get proper sleep. Why? Because that's when our body has time to repair. It has time to repair and rebuild and prepare us for the next day so that we can be successful. So think about how much sleep you get, and then it's not about the number of hours that you're lying in the bed. It's how much really good deep sleep do you get. So these are some things that we need to take care of in our body in order to have the energy to move forward in life, to have a healthy lifestyle and have a pain-free lifestyle. If we don't get our sleep, we don't get our nourishment, we don't get our movement, where are we going to be? Our body is going to be exhausted, and all of this stuff is going to cause anxiety, and all the things are going to go in the head. And where does it go? It gets dumped into our physical body. Our chronic pain starts up here. Mental health is real. It starts in our mental and our mindset, and that all is connected to our habits. Our mind is telling us what to do next. So really think about what are the things that you are doing on a day-to-day basis in order to replenish yourself and boost yourself with good energy. So that's all I have for you all today. If you like what you hear, I invite you to join me for one of my yoga classes on Monday, Wednesdays, Saturdays, or Sundays. I teach in person and online in Herndon, Virginia. And here's the thing, something that's different about me is I coach you while you're on the mat. I teach you lifestyle practices on the mat, and I teach you how to take it into life itself, from the mat into life. Until next time, I invite you to be healthy and live well. Bye for now.